Hey Grizzly, it's Johnny here, and it is time for the March newsletter, and so I'm going to go over it. We call these our newsletter announcements for Grizzly Mountain Homelink. A lot of great things are going to be happening in the month of March. It's amazing that it's March. It's spring already. We are just grinding away, getting lots of good things done, always trying to improve and innovate. And so we've got some new things for you this month that I'm really excited to tell you about. Stick around, a lot of information in this newsletter. We're going to be offering on April 6th, so right at the beginning of April, at the end of March, we're going to have what we're calling a showcase. And this is for anyone you know who might be interested in our program. Tell them about this. We're going to be advertising it. We're getting our website done finally. The website has not been a focus this year because, it was not hard to get people in the program this year, so what was important was getting you guys what you need. But this program is going to continue to exist. We're adding 9th grade next year, and so we're developing a website this month, and we're going to be showcasing what our program is about and having events so that people can come and learn about it. And we'll have it over Zoom and hopefully also in person. It'll be April 6th will be the first showcase that we do. And if you have a friend who has questions, if they have another program that's asking them for a commitment, they can certainly call me anytime, 541-903-0565. I'd love to talk to them about it. Any questions they have, I can answer it. But we're going to be showcasing our program for the community to know about what we are and what we do on April 6th, which is a Tuesday. And we'll get back to you on a location and a time for that. But it'll be in the evening, probably 6 o'clock. So that's coming up. Grizzly Mountain Readers. So this is an innovative thing we started in February. And we've had some success. I would say it's been really successful. We just didn't get a whole lot of kids to follow through with it. And maybe that's partly communication and people are busy. And so it's a great thing. The kids, they read a book and we give them like 5 chapters a week or 6 chapters a week. And they read it and then they come and we do like trivia in a little Zoom session once a week with kids their age. It's been really fun, a great social opportunity that we can do virtually. So if you would like your kids to be reading books, we have one for 3rd and 4th graders, one for 5th and 6th graders, and one for 7th and 8th graders. We've also got some reading opportunities for K through 2 that I'll be telling you about in a second. So in the newsletter, there's a link to a Google form. You can go to that form. You can sign up, say, hey, we want to do it. We can use your instructional funds to send the book to you, and you can start reading the book that way. All right, another really exciting, innovative thing we're doing, we're calling it Grit, Grizzly Grit. And it's going to be kind of a study hall mixed with drop-in tutoring. And we've really spent a lot of time planning this and thinking over the details of this in the last couple weeks. And so I'm just going to read part of this to you. We are piloting a study hall tutoring center to help students who need additional in-person support. And it says here, if this pilot is a success, we will make adjustments and continue this offering. So this is a big change in some of what we are going to spend our time on every week. We're going to, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, basically from 8:45 to 2:30, we're going to be available to have your kids with us. And obviously, there's only a limited number of us. There's 225 people in this program. And so I don't think everyone's going to utilize it. And so we're not going to place a restriction on it. But we do have a few rules about what's going to be done. And if your kids are already coming to our Grizzly gatherings, this is something that could kind of be coupled with that. So if they're coming to a Tuesday Grizzly gathering, they could come before for some tutoring or they could stay after for some tutoring. We also have lunches provided, at Grizzly gatherings. And so we're going to have what we're calling a grit list. And the grit list is going to be a list that the kids either show up with or you fill out when you bring them that says, hey, these are the things they're going to be working on. These are the things that they brought with them. And, we're talking math, social studies, science, language arts, other curriculum. And so we'll have 4 tutors in the room on Tuesdays and Thursdays who can help tutor the kids that show up. And depending on how many people show up and utilize it, that'll determine how much attention the kids can have. This is a really great idea for like middle schoolers who have a lot of times where they're working independently, but they just need a few bits of help. For younger kids, it's still available, but just I put in here, the duration a parent plans for a student to remain at the tutoring center should take into account the age of the student. And so tutoring and study hall is, the longer that a kid's going to spend there, really the older they should be. But we want to work around your schedules and help you out. with this, and we're just kind of starting this and trying it out and seeing how it goes. And I don't think it's going to be an absolute train wreck. I think it's going to be great, and I think if anything, it'll probably be underutilized at first, but it's just another thing that we want to offer is drop-in tutoring. And this could grow to multiple days beyond Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. But make sure they come with a grit list. And so you can click the link on the Adobe PDF of the newsletter. You can click the link. It'll take you to the Google Doc that we created called the grit list, which is just a place to list what they need to do and what kind of support they need with that stuff. And we're absolutely going to require that they have something, that they have a grit list and they have things to work on while they're there, and send them with a book in case they finish everything before you're back. That's about all it says there. So if you're going to utilize that, make sure you read it and check it out. All right, purchase request deadlines. So instructional funds are for student learning. And so I wrote here, do not let a need go unmet with unspent funds. So if you have unspent money and you have needs that your kid still hasn't had met, we want to use instructional funds for student learning. And the deadline is coming up for the fiscal year, and I don't know all the details of why it's like this, but every program like ours, I think their deadlines are even sooner. And so by March 19th, we need to know what you would like to spend your instructional funds on, and you have to fill out a purchase request anytime that you want to spend instructional funds. So any funds that are not spent or allocated towards spending, you don't have to have actually done the activity, will be rolled back into what's called the school district's general fund. And so we want you to use instructional funds for student learning, and if you have needs that are unmet, please make sure you let us know what you're going to spend instructional funds on by March 19th. Sometimes money can get a little strange, and so if you have any concerns over that, just give me a call. There's nothing there but us just having to set a deadline for reasons regarding the school budget. Okay, let's keep going. Second page, Teaching Reading 101. Kim Waite is amazing. She's one of the teachers in our program, and she has the desire to help parents learn the best practices for teaching their kids to read. There's this metaphor I heard recently where these babies are floating down the river, and so people are rushing in, saving the babies, and then somebody says, hey, we should go figure out who's throwing the babies into the river. And so, kids, it is just a natural part of development that certain kids are going to struggle to learn to read at the same, kind of average that everyone else does. And rather than just come in with reading intervention that's pulling the babies out of the river, we want to go figure out, hey, is there something we could do upstream that would prevent the kids from ever falling behind in the first place? And so Kim wants to be proactive and help teachers learn best practices for teaching their kids to read. Amazing idea. And she's going to teach once a week over Zoom to help parents use best practices. Kim is a reading specialist. She has a reading endorsement. She's an all-star. I would highly recommend, if you have any children in the future or current that you are teaching to read, that you jump in on this opportunity. It's going to be 9 a.m. Friday mornings via Zoom. And she is, I'm sure, going to do a phenomenal job. I just can't tell you how impressed I am with Kim Waite. Okay, and Kim Waite is also leading the charge with Kim and a couple of our other teachers, Kaylee and Haley, who are amazing as well. And they're all going to be involved in what's called reading intervention. So as we get data from Dibbles and those benchmark assessments, we can say, hey, here's a struggling reader. We want to offer what this reader needs to improve and get back up to kind of what is expected as a norm for learning to read. So reading intervention is going to be a great opportunity. It's going to be a one-day in-person on Mondays, I think. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be virtual. And so we're talking about 4 days a week of reading intervention help for your struggling reader. And we have sent out invitations to kids who were clearly identified by their Dibble scores for needing some help in that area. But if you're wanting help for your child and you haven't heard from us about that and you think they need help, give us a call, and we'd love to get them involved as well. Let's see, writing workshop. another one of our amazing teachers, Charlotte St. Clair, is going to be teaching kids how to be better writers. And she's got a 6th through 8th grade group and a 3rd through 5th grade group. This is a perfect example of what Grizzly Grit is for. So say you have a student who wants to come to Grizzly Gatherings on Tuesday from 10:45 to 12:15. He also maybe has the writing workshop 9:45 to 10:45. Or say he's a 6th through 8th grader, he has an 8:45 to 9:45. And then there's an hour in between there where you don't want to come, drop him off, pick him up, and then drop him off again. And he can go into the study hall tutoring center and just get some work done for an hour on Tuesday morning. So that's the idea behind the schedule, behind the writing workshop, that it's also on Tuesdays when you could be utilizing Grizzly Gatherings. If you'd like to get involved in the writing workshop, there is a sign up at the bottom of that page as well. You can click on those links actively in the Adobe PDF that we share at the bottom of this YouTube video. So you might see this on Facebook, but it's actually a YouTube video that took you from Facebook to YouTube. And in the comments section, I'll put links to these sorts of things too. Okay, in addition to that, you can sign up for Grizzly Gatherings. And we've got on the schedule, spring break is coming up in March. And so spring break is March 22nd through 26th. And I have to admit, I'm a little excited for that. I hope you are too. All right, lots of great things going on. Don't forget about middle school sports going on. Cross country has just started. A couple of my boys are doing cross country. And like every 5 or 6 weeks, there's a new sport this spring at the middle school level, so you can get involved in that. We are just so excited about all the good things going on in this program. And we are so excited for you guys and thankful for you guys. If there's anything you need, don't hesitate to call us. And we are always here for you to serve you and help your kids succeed learning at home. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you in March.